guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Mikael, and today is another story time, and today's story time is going to be about how my best friend tried to steal my boyfriend, her best friend. Okay, you guys, so today's story time is about the time where my best friend tried to take my boyfriend because it was her best friend, whatever. So, I'm going to start the story time off with, I'm going to name her Desi. Me and Desi were, like, damn near inseparable best friends. We grew up together, my voice. We grew up together. I wouldn't necessarily say we went to grammar school together, but we did know each other since, was it younger than me? We didn't go to the same grammar school, but we knew each other since grammar school at this point. Yeah. So, me and Desi were like I said, inseparable best friends. I'm gonna try to get ready at the same time I do this, y'all. But we're basically like inseparable best friends. So, mind you, we told each other every fucking thing. Because we were both going through, like, I guess you could say like a traumatic childhood. So we used to confide in each other. So we pretty much told each other everything. Every boy we liked, every motherfucking fight we had been in, every bully we had. Basically, we was trauma bonding because we both had some serious bullies. So mind you, like I said, we pretty much told each other everything. Now, I'm not saying people don't have secrets. I'm not saying I literally knew everything about her and she literally knew everything about me. Obviously, there are times where people don't say certain things. You know, it's their life, it's their business. But, you know, as kids, you kind of overspiel a lot. So, we pretty much told each other everything. And I don't know about y'all, but when you've gone through trauma, you become a huge people pleaser. And people pleasers tend to tell people entirely way too much of their business. I.e., why I said I don't talk to people about what I'm doing. I tell people after I'm doing something. Because for all you know, I'm sitting in the house, sitting on the couch, watching motherfucking TV. That's all you need to know. Until I tell you otherwise. But back then, I ain't had that kind of sense. Well, I didn't have no sense. But you know, you live and you learn. Wait, do I want to put this on yet? Not yet. So, yeah. So then, when it comes time to start high school, me and her found out, I don't even think through telling each other. We didn't really, like, tell each other, like, hey, we're going to the same school. I think we kind of just found out through the grapevine. Because, from what I remember, I didn't know until last minute that I was going to a certain type of high school. It's not a normal high school. It's not a high school for bad kids, but it's like a military high school. So yeah. So we get up in that thing. Me and her do not. Well, I don't mind saying it. It's a naval high school. Me and her were not in the same platoon, so we would kind of just see each other, but of course when we do, we talk. And this was at first, so it's like in JROTC. So you're basically like in boot camp at first. And I would see her, she would see me. Mind you, we're still telling each other stuff. You know what I mean? Like already who we peeping is cute and all that. Who we meet and, you know, obviously if we're seeing each other there at times like lunch or whatever, we're talking. So everybody see who knows everybody. And right off the bat, we knew each other. So we automatically start hanging out. As much as we can, though. Because like I said, we weren't in the same platoon. So yeah. We graduate boot camp. You know, everybody make it. We make it. We're in school. Same thing. Still talking to each other. Still close. Still friends. I guess you could say our personality or our balance was, I was probably more, it's odd because it's like, it's kind of the same of what I say that I kind of used to deal with, not no more, where people kind of try to put a persona on you, and it's kind of not really how it is. So it would appear that I was the quiet, shy one, and she was the outgoing, talkative one. I don't know if that's clear here, but I'm very outgoing. I'm very talkative. I'm not very quiet. Well, I am in situations where I don't know who yet. Like I'm observing. If I don't know nobody, of course I'm not gonna be like, hey, for the most part. But I'm not necessarily like the in the corner quiet person. Because even if I don't know people, I'm at least gonna like introduce myself. I'm at least ask them like, hey, what's your name? And if the vibe isn't giving that I can continuously talk to them, or I may feel that they don't really want to be bothered, then I can come off quiet, but not necessarily around people I already know. So there's not really any way that me and her interaction would give off that Mickey's the quiet one and Desi is the loud one. Because in reality, Desi is the quiet, maybe not shy, but kind of like the quiet, shy one. And I'm the more outgoing, loud one. But when you have certain people in your circle that you don't realize aren't for you, they kind of take your persona and give you theirs, if that makes sense. If anybody's ever heard of destiny swapping, it's like destiny swapping. So I wasn't really as outgoing as I normally would be, but I didn't know that back then. You know, I was like 16, so I didn't really know anything about destiny swapping. I just knew, for some reason, when I'm around her, I'm not being as much myself. Or I feel like if I'm too forthcoming or honest as I am, that it's going to cause arguments. It's going to cause friction. Which, if you have friends that make you feel like if you were yourself, if you're around people who you have to dim your light around, they're not for you. They're not your people. Because at the end of the day, if I can't speak my mind or else, that's a problem. So, yeah, I'll come off the shy one. She was the outgoing one. I was more like the cute shy girl, and she was more like she's outgoing, she's got flair. And I don't know if I realized until years later that I built resentments. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying like I was the friend who was in the back like, this bitch thinks she's all that, huh? It wasn't that. It was, I'm like the type of person who you know how you have attractive friends. I'm the type of person where I personally think that everyone is attractive. Everyone can be attractive. Not necessarily saying that I'm attracted to everyone, but just that everyone has the ability to be attractive to someone. Therefore, everybody is attractive. You just have to find what brings you out. You know what I mean? And I realized it's not any one thing. Like, you don't have to stick to any one style to bring you out. You just have to own it, if that makes sense. You just have to own what your look is. So, like, nowadays, I'm very fucking confident in myself. And if someone's like, but, because I've had people try it. Like, when you grow and you come out that weird ass shell people put you in and you figure out who you are, people will try to put you back in there. They will test you and see, like, oh no, she ain't really that different. At some point in time, I'm going to have to come out. And I'm out, baby. And I ain't going back in now. I ain't going back in now. So, but back then, it was like anytime I would try to jump out of this shell, she specifically would try to push me back into it. So it wasn't that I was looking at her like, oh, you're the one that's all that. Fuck you, bitch. No, it wasn't that. It was just, if anything, sometimes it could be inspiring to see someone like be confident. And it's not like, oh, they don't really should be confident. They shouldn't even be confident, but that's cool. It's not like that. It's just, I like seeing people own their shit. Like, bam, bam. And the way that she would come off, like, oh yeah, I take care of business. I do this. I assumed that, okay, so she's confident. I didn't really know what confidence was. Confidence isn't loud. Confidence, you see it. You see it in people's interaction. You see it in the way that they carry themselves. You see it in the way that they date. You see it in the way that they talk to their children, the way that they talk to their pets, the way that they talk to their family. She wasn't that confident, but I didn't know that then. So I was more inspired by it. So then I would be like, okay, well, I knew I didn't want to be like her specifically. So I'm coming out of my own shell. What my own shell looks like isn't going to be what somebody else's shell look like. And then when people see what your out of your shell looks like and they don't like it, they'll try to drag you right back in that fucking box. Oh, that's weird. Oh, why are you wearing that? Or why are you doing that? You know, that typical shit. So she would kind of throw me back in my shell. And I think because we had known each other for so long, I don't think she knew that she was kind of being like my COs. Where anytime I wanted to be somebody, I want to say somebody else, but it wasn't somebody else. Anytime I was tired of being somebody else and wanted to start being me, somebody would drag me back in. And she has been around the COs. So I felt like it kind of weaved into our friendship, where everything that they said, they were telling her family or like, you know what I mean? Because the family kind of knew each other too. So it's all the COs is just kind of like, I don't know. Like, it was almost like people were working very hard to make me feel like I didn't deserve to be who I am. So sometimes our friendship would go in and out. It started to go in and out a lot. Where it's like, 1 minute we're talking every day, and then the next minute she'll say something like, why would you wear that with that? And then I'll kind of feel a little like, because it's not like I'm scared, but at the same time, like I say, I didn't like confrontation. As much as people used to like to say that I did, because I was always fighting. I was fighting because what the fuck was I supposed to do? If somebody hit me, I'm finna hit you back. I was tired of getting bullied. But that didn't mean I liked confrontation. So I became one of those people who would try to avoid confrontation at all costs, to the point that someone then thinks they could hit me, and then now we're fighting. That's how it was. It wasn't just like I was just going off the hinges every time somebody said something disrespectful. I would just be like, okay, I'm not fucking with you. And if they felt that that was me being scary, so now they want to hit me, or now they want to pull my hair, or now they want to, try to drag my ass, then I end up fighting. Because I ain't going to be too many more drags down some fucking hallways. So basically in high school, I was kind of like that person. 1 minute, everybody's like, oh my God, she's so shy. And then the next minute, I'm low-key beefing with somebody. Now, mind you, I didn't get into a lot of beef in high school because I had fought so much during grammar school that, like, I think I at least had enough stature to where people weren't going to be like, oh, she's going to be easily bullyable. So I wasn't really getting bullied in high school. I just had to deal with a lot of weirdos, like little boys who, men. I mean, well, they weren't men, they were boys, but it was kind of like the same kind of shit where, you know how if somebody thinks that you are run overable, then when you start to get older, then they start to, instead of bully you physically, they start to sexually harass you. So, yeah, I dealt with a lot of boys thinking they were just going to randomly touch my tits, or... So then that's kind of more what I was dealing with in high school. Fighting the weirdos. But mind you, because I started to get male attention, not even comfortable... Well, yes, too, but not yet. Not just... It was mostly like weirdos. Creepy little boys. But it was attention. So the more I started to get attention, the more I started to notice that she would make comments about my looks. Or, like, the way I wanted to wear my makeup. Now, I didn't start wearing makeup until, like, sophomore. Till, like, sophomore high school. And that was just literally what I do now. Because I went through eyeliner, mascara, then I went to the huge eyeshadows and foundations and boom, boom, boom. And then I realized I like the basics. I do still have my other stuff. Don't get me wrong. But I ended up right back to the basics. I couldn't even see my name. So, yeah, I would wear simple stuff like this. And every time some dude liked her, or another friend of ours, which I also have a story time about, but I'm not going to give her a name right now because, I don't know. I do have a name for her. So basically, every time somebody would want to try to get with Desi and another friend of ours, Cece was very more shy than the rest of us. But so that's why I said I don't know if I really needed to give her a name right now because she's not relevant quite yet. but she was still amongst our little friend group. But anytime a boy wanted to get with them, for some reason they always felt the need to insult me. And I would try to tell them, like, hey, I'm like uncomfortable. Like, I don't understand why they keep doing that. And they would always make it like, well, it's not our fault that guys try to talk to us. Mind you, I'm letting them know, like, these is dudes that already tried to talk to me, but I said I don't want to talk to them. So now they're trying to talk to y'all and then insult me while they're trying to talk to y'all. But nobody cares, right? Because, oh, what's in your head, Nikki? So, like, a dude one time, I would low-key about to say his real name, little fuck boy. But, so he tried to, like, talk to me, right? Now, mind you, I've never had a fucking boyfriend before at this time. I've never had a boyfriend before. So I'm like, I'm not knowing what it is like for a guy to be like, hey, I like you. Can we go out? He's just kind of like, and I'm over here like, yo, what the fuck? Yo, you got pretty lips. Cool. But why that mean you got to be in my face? So if I'm coming off like, yo, back the fuck up. Oh, I don't understand why you're being so mean. We're just kissing. We're both, well, he didn't say grown. I can't stand when niggas say that. I feel like he said something along the lines, but we're both older, or we're both, and I always say the same shit every time, to this day. Every time somebody motherfucking say, oh, we grown, we could, okay, well, I'm grown enough to let you know I don't want to fucking do this. How is you telling me I'm grown, so I should do whatever you want me to do? Excuse me? Last time I checked, grown means you get to fucking have choices. You get to make decisions. So my grown ass is not gonna fuck with you. How about that? I'm grown enough to say, I know damn well I ain't fucking with you. But so he hit me with one of the lines, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, so I'm over here like, okay, and I don't think I cussed that much back then. But I'm like, okay, and like, what that mean for me? What that mean for me? Right? And then so when he goes and tries to talk to one of them, he's like, oh, you're so pretty, Cece, or you're so pretty, Desi, because y'all don't wear makeup. And she be wearing all that makeup. I mean, no shade. I don't think they said no shade back then, but like, no shade. Yeah, I like a girl who don't wear that much makeup. Did you give a fuck about that makeup, nigga, when you was trying to kiss me? 1, 2, these, they wore way more makeup than me. Like I said, I just started doing like mascara and eyeliner, trying to figure it out. Did it make me look a little too black around the eyes? Probably. I was testing it out. But all you doing is like a do 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 flat 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 flat. I'm wearing more makeup than them. I would bust out and be like, listen, if you want to talk to them, then fucking talk to them. But if you need to diss me to talk to them, then you ain't got no fucking game, for real. Nikki! Stop! Ew! So you want to talk to him? Like, what the fuck? So it would start to get a little like that. So when it came to like boys or, all that shit, I wasn't interested. And what's crazy is because of my dynamic at home with the COs, it always came off like I was just this hoe. I was just looking for boys. But mind you, at school, I'm over here pushing niggas off. Like, get off me. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm not interested in talking to anybody. Especially if I say no, now you want to start dissing me. You don't like me for real. You see a little fatty back there. And you don't like me for real. So, yeah, it started to get a lot like that. And I tried to play it off with, like, even I'm telling you, I had some sense there. Not like some sense, but I was very self-aware. Like, even when I ended up in effed up situations, for some reason, I would still be very self-aware. And back then, I used to look at it like, we in a fresh pond that ain't none of us been in before. And hormones, and maybe it's just that, hey, she want to like somebody bad. And so it's easier for her to get the attention if somehow I'm getting put down. And that's what it felt like. It felt like they got attention by me getting put down. But then get mad if I'm getting attention just based off me. Hey, that's not my problem. It really ain't. Like, Because I don't really think it has anything to do with I look better than them. I don't think it's that. And I feel like it's just you attract what, in a sense. I hate when people say you attract what you are, because I know sometimes that we attract things that are not us at all. So you either attract what you are or you attract the exact opposites. I would attract opposite a lot. And a lot of opposite of me is masculine energy, right? If I'm giving a lot of feminine energy. And sometimes I'll give a lot of masculine energy in my life, and that's when I'll get a lot of creeps. But I don't think people sometimes understood that. Like, y'all all want to be like, yeah, because I don't give a fuck about a boy. So you're going to attract the weird ones. I'm not saying that I was ever like, ooh, men come into my life. But I also wasn't worried about them. So sometimes when you're not worried about them, they come more. And you tend to attract very attractive men, good-looking men, soft, supple, kind of just wholesome men when you're not really worried about it. When you're like, me, you kind of get more of those men. And when you kind of like, bitch, you kind of get more of the narcissistic men. And then it doesn't help if they find you attractive, because now you get more and more and more. At least that's how it worked for me. That's how it still works for me, honestly, because I'm at that point in my life. I really don't give a fuck. Not that I don't give a fuck, but I'm healing. I'm worried about me. So I'm attracting a very good-looking man. But, yeah. As long as it ain't somebody else's man, I'm open. So, let me... What are you doing? So, then it comes a time, right, where I kind of start getting in trouble. Not necessarily because the whole bullying thing anymore, but kind of. The same type of dudes. Now I'm being loud in class, like, if you don't stop fucking touching me. So I ended up in the break, is what they call it, detention. And that's when I meet Landon. So, yeah, that's when I meet Landon. Both of us kind of being like class clowns. And I think what I realized about Landon was that I didn't have to pretend to be like this shy girl that everyone, for some reason, now needed me to be. Because before they needed me to be loud and ghetto and the hoe, but now because, you know, these friends of mine are coming out their shell, it's like, no. Dim it down. Don't be too bright. Let the people we like, you know. Because what the fuck? It's high school. Like, who was finna... I don't know. Was somebody finna blow up? Like, I don't know. But I realized that he... I'm not saying like I feel like dudes like goofy, silly women, right? But at the same time, in this society, they want the women that are just more like I said, standing off on the sidelines, just looking pretty. He didn't make me feel like I just needed to be pretty. So me and him got close fast as fuck. And unfortunately, we probably met a little bit too many times in the break. But then eventually it got to the point where we ended up having one of the same classes. And we were like really fucking close. Really close. So even through the other dudes that were trying to date me, and I ended up having my first kiss with this one boy, and it was so fucking weird. Because, like I said, I'm talkative. So I realized that in my years, I need a more talkative man. And although, like I was trying to tell y'all about, what did I name him? J-Bay? JB? I don't know. I don't remember. But I kind of dumped him because I felt like he was too quiet. And I think maybe it is part of my past that made me feel like, oh, I can't talk to dudes who's too quiet. Because I feel like it's weird. It's awkward. Because I'm talkative. So if you're just sitting there quiet, I don't want to keep shooting questions at you. I don't want to keep being like, so, and, well, so, you know, because today, like, say something. And I that's why I said I felt kind of bad, like I didn't give him a chance. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know. Rejection is protection. And I like to look at that in every way. Even if I sometimes maybe feel like I'm the problem, rejection is still protection. Because what if I damaged him? I don't want to be that person. So that's enough too to be like, no. Rejection is protection. Period. So I don't necessarily regret it to the point where I would seek him out on social media and be like, hey, remember me? Nah. Because I think that actually ended up happening and nothing came of it. Not literally me seeking him out. I think he actually seeked me out. And this is at the time I had lost myself. So I didn't even have the confidence to be like, he's probably looking at it like, damn, went with the wrong one. I mean, he probably really did feel like that. But I don't have the energy to be like, hey, I'm sorry for, like, you know, because we didn't end on, like, bad terms. He just wasn't talking. And then one day I just said, I'm going to stop texting him. I'm going to tell you a story time about that. But I felt like at that time, and it was early on in my dating relationships, but I still felt like at the time, I knew that's the type of guy I want. I want someone who can match my energy. Balance more nowadays, but back then I was just like, yes, somebody who's funny, somebody who's outgoing, somebody who's loud, somebody who I can make laugh and they won't feel like, you one of the homeboys. So we started obviously liking each other a lot. Like a lot. Like I'm talking every time you saw us, we was like, oh, no, because I had my first kiss with somebody but when me and him were just friends. And I had this huge crush on somebody else. The person I had my first kiss with wasn't anyone that I liked. So I know it's going to sound weird. I thought he was kind of cute, but I didn't like him. Desi, he, for some reason, felt the need to ask Desi and Cece if he should try to talk to me. And they're like, yeah. Now, mind you, like I said, me and Landon were getting really close. So why they were trying to have my attention on somebody else, I don't know. Obviously, I could have said, I don't like him. I don't want to talk to him. I did not. He asked to basically have a conversation with me, entertain me. And I said, okay, that's fine. We ended up having our first kiss at a bus stop. And it was terrible. But everybody around us was like, oh my God, I'm Nikki, right? So I'm just like, so it was kind of hard to be like, hey, I don't ever want to fucking do that again. Well, it wouldn't have been hard. I could have just said it. But because we had like a fucking audience, I felt bad if I was just like, so now he's walking around like, everybody like, ah! I'm like, oh my God. So it wasn't until like maybe 3 kisses later where I wrote a letter to him. I wrote a letter to him like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, you're cute and all that, but this is weird. I don't like our kissing. Somebody even made a joke. I was like, why do y'all kiss like that? Because it was like, okay, so I feel like this is how you kiss, right? You kind of like stare into each other's eyes, right? And then you go in slow. This man would be like, to damn near, like, it felt like he was about to fucking knock out my teeth. So it got to the point where I was just like, yeah. Like, I felt like I would do this. To protect my teeth. So so if he do it, like, really hard, I'd be like, I had to protect my fucking teeth, man. I don't know. He should hurt it. So I eventually ended up writing him a letter and letting him know, like, I'm not feeling it. I don't feel it. Like, you're attractive, but, like, that's it. You can't kiss. You don't write, because, I don't know if anybody else used to do this shit in high school where you write letters to each other and stuff like that. So we started doing that kind of stuff. But he wasn't really, like, writing nothing. I would try to call him on the phone at night. This man would just be like, and I'm like, so what you doing? Like, are you watching TV? Oh, yeah, I'm just watching this show. What's your favorite color? What do you eat? Anything. Nigga, I don't know you. He wasn't giving nothing. He wasn't giving me no type of play. So yeah, I ended up writing him a letter and I was like, nah, we're done. That's when I ended up having a crush on, well, I already had a crush on somebody else. My main crush was, I'm gonna call him Eminem. I can't tell y'all why it's funny, but I'm gonna call him Eminem. For obvious reasons. He was Caucasian and he rapped. So I'm gonna call him Eminem. So anyways, I had this huge crush on Eminem, right? Like, huge crush. I crushed on him so hard. Like, it's probably one of the, no, not nowadays, but probably one of the biggest crushes I've ever had on someone. Like, I damn near looked at him like he was a fucking celebrity. And I didn't know he rapped at the time. So it wasn't that I literally thought he would be a celebrity one day. I just thought, like, damn, this nigga's that fun. But he was, like, probably hood bred. So he had a little bit more swag to him. Right? So I had this huge crush on him. I'm pretty sure he knew it. Because we would do that thing I was talking about. We would lock eyes and shit. Like, a lot. So I remember when I said that I realized when I lock eyes with somebody like that, it's a familiar spirit. But no, I got it wrong. So I did a deep dive in all the people that I looked at like that. And everybody that I've ever had that connection I look with, I didn't end up with them. I never got a chance to. So maybe it's some other type of spirit. I don't know. But I never really got a chance to deep dive in anything. It's a different kind of a look to where it's more familiar. There's like two looks. It's one that gets me all hot and steamy. And it's another that always has me like, what is it about them? The what is it about them people is the ones I've ended up having long relationships with. Those 3 serious relationships. But the ones where it's just like, they got the passion and the fire in me like, foof. I never ended up with those people. So I had this huge crush on him. Well fucking known crush. I wasn't hiding it. We'd be in the class and a teacher would be talking to me or him. And me and him is just like, like from across the fucking room, and the teacher would be like, Mickey, and I'm like, yes, huh, or him. It never fucking failed. Everybody knew. It was not. I don't want to say everybody, but most people who knew me or him knew. We was trying to. Let me stop. We was kids, but yeah. Why this motherfucker? So this is what started breaking my and Desi's relationship. Why him and her end up dating? I'm walking down the fucking hallway one day. Bam, bam, bam. These two is like, I said, like, I felt my heart fucking shoot out my asshole. My heart just went floop. Because I didn't get it. I was like, what? Huh? So she had the nerves to say it was because I was talking to Terrible Kisser. And I'm like, not you got motherfucking me to talk to Terrible Kisser to get me out the way from motherfucking Eminem. So you can sweep in on Eminem. When I tell y'all I was hurt behind that. Because she knew. I'm telling you, everybody knew. I was hurt for like a few weeks going in school, just like one of these. And now he hit me with the, hey, what's up, sis? Fuck you, bitch. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I ain't your fucking sister. Fuck you, nigga. Oh my God. I was mad. Because he would try to be like, hey, sis. Like, hey. Like, don't be. And I'd be like, because he would try to, like, lean and shit. Like, don't touch me now, bitch. Oh, man. I remember that shit. Like, it was yesterday. Like, we walking down the hallway. And he would just keep trying to do this shit. I'm like, first of all, I'm not that type, right? No offense to this. But I am not that type. So, not that you have talked to her. Don't fucking touch me. I'm not going to be sitting here dreamy eye. Nah, bro. You're one of the guys. Like, So, I'm hurt. Every time I see them two, I'm just like, you nasty motherfuckers. And I would get to the point where I'm just like, hey, Mickey. And And I ain't cuss her out. I ain't fight nobody. So my whole thing is, I let it go, right? I let it go. That to me is letting it go. It's not. It's not. But at the time, I thought, I'm letting it go. I ain't say shit. I ain't do shit. Fuck y'all. It is what it is. He chose up. He chose the wrong one, but he chose up. He chose. So mind you, me and Landon still getting closer. To the point where then me and him start dating. So Eminem is like, he one of these. Where is he? I don't give a fuck. But this is like probably a good month later. So me and Landon start dating. When we start dating, it was almost as if everyone had to tell me how unattractive Landon was. I guess compared to Bad Kisser and Eminem. Why are you talking to him? Mind you, Bad Kisser and Eminem were tall. I'm tall. So they're tall people. So we looked good. Bad Kisser, I'm sorry. Nah. That would have never worked. But, so Landon is my height. And he's a little bit more stockier. But to me, like I said, personality is everything to me. So if you're already attractive, because it's not like Landon was ugly, but I feel like people wanted me to think that. Because now here I am happy, and everybody's like, no, not him. I don't know what was up with people and thinking they need to fucking control my whole life. That baby is going off. But he was attracted to me, so I was cool with it. So now everybody's like, oh, why are you talking to him, Mickey? He's ugly this, he's ugly that. And mind you, it's mostly like girls saying it. No, at first it was dudes saying it. But when they realize they're not about to sway me away from this guy. Because all you niggas is just post up niggas. All you niggas is just, y'all pre-roll up niggas. So I'm already knowing y'all not about nothing. But he's good in school. He's educated. He knows all the teachers. He's funny. He's got this whole package. Like, I could see me and him going to college and being cool. Y'all niggas, I ain't finna see y'all after this. Bye. But, so yeah. And then when that wasn't working, then, niggas try to slide shit on the side. But nobody was ever really going to approach him with the fuck shit because he was a stocky dude. He was not small. Not like he was big, but like muscular. One day I call Landon, right? Conversation was like boom, 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 flowing. So I knew he was the one. I call him, right? We're talking, blah, blah, blah. I gotta keep from being loud because the CEOs find out I got a man. Bitch. So, but we're cracking the fuck up. So I had to make sure I'm like, yeah. I mean, we was like one of these. Guess who in the motherfucking background? Eminem. So he's like, oh, your boy here. And I'm like, who? And he's like, oh, Eminem. I was like, you know him? Oh yeah, we friends. So I low-key, I was about to have to say, nah, we can't talk. Because I didn't want to do the homie hopping shit. But I didn't know that they were friends. And I'm like, I'm knee deep. So I'm like, oh, how you feel about that? Because then obviously you must know that I had a crush on him. So if you uncomfortable, tell me now. Because I ain't trying to hear later on that I've been fucking homies and all that. I don't got time for that. No. So let's nip it in the bud now. So he's like, well, y'all never talked. And, he talking to your bestie. So we had it cleared. Like, okay. Because I'm not about to be a fucking homie hopper, bro. But you could still hear in Eminem's voice, like, he felt some type of way. Like, hey, what's up, sis? And I'm just like, bro, you fucked up. What you don't be like, yeah, oh, okay, I see you talking to my bros now. And, oh, okay, I see y'all. Do you sound jealous? Yeah, so I'm looking at it like, don't get fucking weird about me and your boy now. Because, look, I ain't act weird about, well, I did kind of act a little weird. But not weird as in, oh, you talking to my homegirl now? Not weird like that, but just, that is weird. That is fucking weird. Like, it was no small task the way we was staring at each other. The way we was googly eyeing. The way we would flirt every time we had to be around each other. The way he would try to keep randomly touching me. How you gonna talk to somebody after they did all that to me? I said it like we got married. But still, I wouldn't do that. Ew. So anyways. What am I? So, me and him start getting really close, right? Because now we're dating. We're official. Everybody knows it. This is my man, my man, my man. Then it started getting to the point where now girls started liking him. Not saying that girls didn't like him before, but the same girls that were like, ew, why are you talking to him? He ugly. It's the same girls that I'm now seeing in the hallway. Oh my God, Landon, you so funny, Landon. I said, not you bitches. So every time I get a gift from him, and that he was a gift giver. Every time I get a gift from him, now all of a sudden, oh my God, he's so sweet, he's so romantic. If y'all don't lay off my neck, right? But I'm gonna be honest, it was not fazing me. I had never been cheated on before. I ain't never had a boyfriend before, so in my mind, shit, everybody like him. Yeah, that's my man. I didn't look at it like I was jealous until. Guess who Desi's bestie was all of a sudden? Landon. So now, every time I'm coming out of a class, these niggas chasing each other or play fighting. And I'm like, so I got to a point where eventually I end up saying something like, hey, I'm not comfortable with you, all over my best friend like that. And he would be like, oh, no, I'm not. It's not like that. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not comfortable. Or then I would try to talk to her. Hey, like, I know we're best friends. And I know all of a sudden, and this is why I said, we told each other everything. So all of a sudden, this being her best friend, this was her best friend since grammar school is what she told me. When? Like, when I confronted her, like, hey, I'm not really comfortable with you being all over my man like that. Concerning an M&M situation, but I didn't say that. But considering, I'm like, yeah, I'm not really comfortable. Like, I just, this is a little weird. And I'm talking like, play fighting, like, Landon, chill, bitch. So then she was like, oh, no, it's not even like that. You're she didn't say insecure, but she was hitting those markers of like, oh no, girl, cause don't nobody want your man. Like, it ain't like that. Like, I got a dude, I got this, I got, cause I be about my business. I'm like, okay, bitch, not too fucking much, cause you wouldn't be getting this motherfucking mad if it didn't come off weird. But now, yeah, we were best friends since grammar school. When the fuck would... Because last time I checked, we didn't have motherfucking friends in grammar school because we was getting bullied. We was getting our asses beat or we was getting shit talked. When the fuck did you have a best friend in grammar school? See, because I had a best friend in grammar school, but she wasn't in the same school as me. She was where I lived at. She knew that. That's how I knew who her bully was, because my best friend's cousin was her motherfucking bully. So when the fuck did all of a sudden Landon, oh yeah, he was the only one who stuck up for me? So now I go back and I ask him, y'all went to grammar school together? Oh yeah, we actually did have a class together. Y'all was best friends? I mean, not really. So either y'all was motherfucking best friends or y'all wasn't. So according to him, they weren't best friends. They just went to the same school. According to her, he was sticking up for her and bodying niggas. You're lying. It got to the point where I'm trying to be like, hey, I'm uncomfortable though. So regardless, I'm uncomfortable. Oh, y'all don't care that I'm uncomfortable because y'all besties? Okay, deuces. So after about like a few months of us dating, I dumped him. Because I'm like, I shouldn't have to keep questioning if my fucking man and his best friend, my best friend, are doing weird shit. So now I break up with him. He cry about it. But then summer comes. Over the summer, I We come back to school over the summer, next grade. These motherfuckers be going to the mall together. They be taking pictures together. Like, mind you, if you're telling me that it's not like that, why? I don't know. My whole thing is, if somebody told me that they were uncomfortable with what I was doing with their boyfriend, I wouldn't keep doing stuff with their boyfriend, whether they broke up or not. I wouldn't, cause they're uncomfortable. These taking pictures. This nigga will be taking pictures with his homies, and you just got her randomly in there. Why the fuck are you there with all these niggas? So then all of a sudden, she's the friend who doesn't get along with females. I have more male friends because I don't get along with Remember when I said I be having a lot of male friends? I don't think it's because I don't get along with females. I don't. I honestly think it's just because I'm goofy, or I can be jokey, or talkative. And sometimes women don't want to do that because they want to come off a certain way, which I'm not saying I don't understand, because when you trying to date, if you come off like the jokey one, a lot of times you're not going to get taken seriously. However, I don't think I gave a fuck about dating bad enough to where I had to hide my personality. I'm not really sure if I ever got to that point where I'm just like, I'm not going to be goofy no more because I want a man to take me seriously. Man, fuck you. Fuck you then, nigga, because it ain't enough seriousness that you could give me that is more important than me acting as myself. What relevance could a relationship give me more than I could give myself? But maybe that's why I had such shitty niggas. I don't know. I couldn't see me doing anything differently, if I'm being honest. I think I'd do everything the fucking same. I wouldn't be me right now if I didn't. No, I think I would do everything the same. Fuck it. Maybe I would just be more like, okay, he's not giving what I thought he was giving, and then I could see who's truly giving it by not constantly focusing on this one person, because I don't want to be seen as dating all these people. But to be all the fucking time, nah, man, that shit seems stressful. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I just feel like these people age faster because they stressed out, because they ain't laughed in a while. So, yeah, so I started talking to somebody else. Mind you, this is crazy thinking back at this. This person I started talking to, me and his relationship, our spark, was just as mine and Landon's, but maybe not as jokey. Like that man, fun! I've actually seen him, and he's like one of them people who still look the same. Who still look just as fucking fine as he did in high school. God damn, that man was fine. Taller than anybody I ever dated back then. So I got to, because I don't often really get to look up at a dude. I mean, I do. Because most dudes are like 6'1", 6'2". So yeah, but I don't often get to do that even with heels. Like, to where it's like, you know what I mean? Like the 5'3" girls who be dating 6'1" dudes. Like, I don't often get to feel that way. And I love being tall. It's something about, I always make this fucking joke, but it's something about looking over people. Because I know what it sounds like. And everybody's like, damn, Mickey. It's not like I'm looking over like, fuck you, little bitch. It's not like that. But it feels very like goddess-like if I can see the top of your motherfucking head. Just me. So, and maybe that's how I've talked myself into loving being tall. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I like it. I like, or when, if I have heels on, I can literally see above a crowd. And people just be like, oh, she's so tall. Look at those legs. Yes. But sometimes I want to be, pick me up. I want to be, like, sometimes I want to do that too. Sometimes. So I got to experience that. And that man was fun. He was a grade above me. So I don't know why I keep saying man. He was a grown. He like one of them people who had that grown swag. Even back then. Like suits and fucking ties and sharp as fuck. Like, he's one of them type. I wish I was not in love with Landon at the time, because I probably would have ended up with him. I don't say in the long run. I don't know who he is now. But Yeah, so I started talking to him. So he kind of had Landon out of my mind. Now, mind you, because this is over the course of 2 years. Me and Landon were dating for a year and a half. We're talking a year and a half of him and her play fighting and me saying, hey, I'm uncomfortable. So it's not quick. This isn't quick. Even if it was, shit. But it wasn't quick. So when I met, I'm not going to give him a name because I don't think I have another story time about him. I'm just calling him tall, dark, and handsome. When I started talking tall, dark, and handsome, I would see Landon through the hallway. Like I don't even know if he started dating anybody else yet. But it would kind of just be like, and he would still keep trying to plead. And then one day we get into this big argument in the fucking hallway. I'm crying, he's crying. The math teacher comes out like, what's going on out here? And we kind of like do our spiel, and he's like, hey, because he's like, I ain't signing up for this shit. These little goddamn fucking, these little hood ass kids. But he's like, but I don't think we gave hood ass kids. I think we gave like 2 young kids who were really in love and just didn't know how to figure it out. And he's like, hey, you guys just gotta talk. You just gotta forgive each other. And if it's something that you don't want to do, then just make peace with it and go your separate ways. You guys can still be friends. You're good kids. Right? So we're when he leaves back into the math class, we're in the hallway like, and then we end up dating again. Oh! I'm one of the people who I think I used to be one of those people who I thought that when you forgave somebody, that meant that you had to have them back in your life. I didn't realize that you can forgive someone and never fucking talk to them again. And that's okay. You owe no one anything, please, if you hear me. If you hear me, you owe no one nothing. Literally nothing. If you feel like it's best for you to forgive that person so that you can move on with your life, okay, like don't think it's not possible. Forgive them. If you want to let them know you forgive them, hey, I forgive you. If you want to, peace be with you, but you do not have to still deal with them. You do not have to still date them. If they think that that's what that means, and you say, but I still don't want to deal with you, and they get mad, then immediately you'll know. They're not even worth your forgiveness. Because most people would want you to forgive them and then let them back in. No. Because that's literally just them saying, okay, I want to siphon your energy again. I'll let this man back in. So I end up having a talk with Tall, Dark, and Handsome. And he was understanding, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not out of love with him, and I do not want to ruin somebody by just playing this game. So we ended up stopped talking. And it wasn't like any discourse, but I don't know. But he ended up leaving the school not too soon or not too long after that. After me and him saying bye, never saw them again as a teenager. I think I may have run into him as an adult, but never saw him again as a teenager. Not in person, I should say. Not in person. Social media, yes, but not in person. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of broke my heart a little bit because guess what didn't fucking stop happening? You guessed it. These motherfuckers still besties. One day, this motherfucker doesn't show up to school. I tried to call him, couldn't reach him, nothing. So when he finally comes back to school, he has a cast on. So he ended up breaking his arm and he was in the hospital. He comes up to me, he's like, hey, what happened? Like, how come you didn't write me back? And I'm like, what? Like, I've been calling you. What do you mean? Oh, no, I couldn't call him because I got my phone taken by the COs. So I called him, but I couldn't, keep doing it. And if he did call back, I didn't know. So he's like, I've been trying to get a hold of you. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm trying to get a hold of you. Where you been? And he's like, how this happened and that happened. And I'm like, oh my God, babe. And he's like, well, did Desi give you the letters? I'm like, what letters? He's like, the letters that I wrote for you, I gave her to send to you. I said, this bitch saw you in the motherfucking hospital and didn't tell me? He's like, what? I didn't know that. I didn't know. And I'm over here like, I'm hot as fuck. So after school, man, walking mad as hell. Come up in this motherfucker. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, you got them letters? I didn't say it like that. But I'm like, hey, did you know that Landon was in the hospital? Oh, yeah. I've been meaning to... For 3 fucking days, bitch. And I'm like, he said he gave you letters. And she's like, what letters? What letters? What? Oh. Y'all, I was hot as fuck. I was so fucking hot. And why we were still friends after that, I don't know. Actually, we kind of weren't. That was kind of like the beginning of the end of our relationship as friends. Yeah. So, when that happens, we're low-key arguing. I mean, not too much, because there's other COs around. So we like low-key. So we ended up kind of like falling out. And then I got caught up in some shit with Landon. So I got kicked out of school. Come to find out, after I get kicked out of school, the COs beat the fuck out of me. They beat the fuck out of me. Because I lost my V card to Landon. We skipped school. I lost my V card to him. Someone snitched on us. I don't even know who. Or actually, I think I do know who. Somebody snitched on us. The cops were called. They was looking for us. When they finally found me, I ended up going to my grandmother's house. COs beat the fuck out of me. Took me out of school. They lied and said I got kicked out of school. They took me out of school. So, mind you, and then this is like a year or two passes where I'm just pretty much on fucking lockdown and I'm dead ass. I couldn't go nowhere. I didn't even get to go to school. I was homeschooled. Come to find out, I was not kicked out of school. They took me out of school. She and he, play fighting, ended up doing some shit. They claimed that it was like just kissing. Mind you though, I'm in turmoil because the love of my life, I can't see him ever fucking again. I damn near got my ass fucking broken in half. Like to this day, I have tailbone issues because I was body slammed on ice, on concrete/ice. To find out my best friend is making out, because I feel like there was more, making out with this nigga. We ended up being close again after that. Not literally after that, but just years later. And so much shit happened. I'd have so much more story times with her. But the crazy thing is, I've recently tried to have this conversation with her about like the authenticity of our relationship. And I was trying to bring up some things like, hey, like, I want to have a real friendship. And she goes off. She's like, this isn't a real friendship. Well, I thought we'd been friends. And you've been holding this against me for this long. It's like, it's not about holding it against you. It's about living in my truth. So let's say I did hold these resentments in for all this time. Wouldn't it be the right thing to do to tell you, to say, hey, I've been holding in these resentments because I felt like I've never really gotten to be myself around you. I felt like I had to be this person. And as I've grown, because this was when I was 16. So as I've grown, you know what I mean? Like 15 fucking years. In the last 3 years, like I said, since I've become sober, in the last 3 years, I've really been showing me. And not in a way where I'm just like, bop, bop, bop. I'm just kidding. Or, you know, yeah, but hey, I'm just playing. No, I've been dead ass like, yo, for real, like, you really shouldn't be doing shit like this because that's fucking weird. Or you shouldn't be taking shit like this because that nigga's weird. Or you might think that this guy is the one for you, but I'm telling you right now, he's not. I'm telling you right now, he got a bitch on the side, but you don't want to hear it though. And I'm trying to have this conversation to be in my truths about, hey, who I really am. I understand that me and you have gone through a lot of things. And her whole thing was, we were just kids, we were just kids. But I'm like, that's cool. But at the time when we were just kids, it was still fresh. And that's why people hold on to things. Y'all, people always want to tell you, oh, you need to let that go because that was a long time ago. But at the time that these things happen, it isn't a long time ago. That's why we hold on to them and then we carry them for years. You know what I mean? If somebody did something to me right now, when I'm 50, they're just going to say, girl, we was 30. So now everything you go through, you might as well just look at it like that. If somebody beat my ass right now, I could just be like, oh, let me not worry about it because in 20 years, it'll just be that I was 30. No, what the fuck? If I don't get to stand on business then, I'm going to stand on business right now. I'm going to tell you right now, that shit affected me. It affects me to this day because you treat me the way you do to this day because I didn't say anything back then. That's how people say, hey, that's how you get bullied for years. You didn't do shit when it first happened. So if I'm telling myself, this is how I clear myself out of this. You're not, and it's like, bitch, you're not the only person I'm being real with right now. You're not the only person I'm being raw with. You're just the one feeling some type of way about it. And it ain't like I'm being like, yeah, because you're a man stealer. I'm saying it in a way of like, hey, remember when you did that thing? And I just pretty much didn't say anything about it. This is how I actually felt about it. She's taking it as I'm being like, bitch, because you're always stealing my man. Well, first of all, because here's the thing. I didn't say that. You did. And that's because you feel some type of way about that. So then you need to reconcile and forgive yourself for being that person. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in order for us to grow in the future, we need to talk about the past. If I was in a relationship with a man that was cheating on me and he expected me to forgive him, we have to talk about the past. You're not getting this brand new Mickey in the fucking future if we don't talk about how you made me feel. If you can't talk about it, if you can't hear the raw details of how I feel, and I ain't gonna scream at you, I ain't gonna be like, you nasty motherfucking bitch. I'm gonna start it off with, when you cheated on me with a chick who was not black, you made me feel like I wasn't worthy as a black woman. Or if you cheated on me with a chick with long hair, you made me feel unworthy as a person with short hair. Do I have long hair now? Yeah. But back then, that made me feel some type of way how I perceived myself back then. I'm just this bald-headed black bitch. If he's like, now, cause you're insecure. Cause you're insecure. Back then? Sure. But you're talking about me right now. And that's not going to work. So she's coming at me about me. Well, you're always, what'd she say? Basically like, oh no, you just be overthinking this and I'm like, me now? Why are you talking about me now? How does this make sense? She's literally coming at my character as me right now because of what I took back then. But I'm like, but see, this is my point. How can we be friends for real if I can't tell you that hurt me without you coming at this person right now? You can't be like, that's in the past, but then still say things like, oh, well, that's because back then you just, like, you're talking about me in the past too. So why can't I talk about you in the past? Because there's still statements that she has said about me right now as if she's still speaking about the person back then. Like, if right now I was dating somebody, she'd be like, you always talking to people. Girl, you always got you a man. But you're not talking about me right now. Because me right now hasn't been with a man. I've been with the same person for the last 9 years. So you're not talking about me right now when you say shit like that. And I'll have to say like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you saying that. And shit, I don't mean to say it like that. It's just because you always got a man. You always got a new man. I've been dating the same man for 8-9 years. So you're talking about that Mickey. So you can talk about that Mickey. Who was free in dating and didn't feel like I had to fucking... How the hell do people date? I don't understand that. How people expect women to date if you only date one person? How are you supposed to know if you like who you like, what you like? I don't care. I was very open about my dating back then. So I didn't care, but I'm like, you're still coming at me as me back then. So if I'm telling you that I don't like who you were back then because how you treated me back then, now all of a sudden we can't talk about the past. It's the same thing with niggas. Oh, now you always talk about the past. I ain't talked to that chick in 10 years. Soon as you want to fucking do something, you always. But people don't realize that you're talking about a past person when you say you always. So if people do that, but you can't talk about what they do, and I had to tell her, like, you know what? we had a long run. We had a long run in this friendship. We can't be friends no more. We can't. We can't. Because at the end of the day, you're still going to keep talking about this Mickey that let people run all over her because I didn't have a backbone. And now I'm this person who has a backbone, and now you don't like her because she's going to hold you accountable. We don't got to be friends. I mean, yeah, it's a long friendship to throw away, but is it a friendship in the first place? If every time I fucking talk to somebody, you talking to them? If every time I'm trying to tell you that one of your niggas is trying to talk to me, you like, but why would he do that? What you trying to say? Now, because I know what type of chicks he like. I'm sitting here talking, I said, I like talking to certain types of people. Like, I absolutely know my type. And it isn't necessarily a look. I know who I can work with. I know who can work with me. Because I'm a different type of girl. I'm a different type. She's like, well, yeah, you are an acquired taste. I didn't say it was ugly. What the fuck? Like, don't make it seem like I'm over here, like, fucking doing like, I can't fuck a man unless we do a backflip. Like, don't make it seem like I'm on some weird shit. What the fuck that's supposed to mean? Like, I can't hang out with you no more. Now, mind you, I'm not saying I'm doing this story time because we fell out. Well, I mean, I don't even think we fell out. I know I'm in a different point in my life. And there's just some people I can't take with me. There's just some people I can't take with me because I've held on to these people for so long that I never moved from the place that I was. And now that I'm moving, I'm realizing they're not moving. They're not moving at all. They're comfortable where they are, and I can't take them with me. And I'll try, and I'll be like, hey, like, that's why I said, can we have a conversation about our friendship? I think there's some things that we need to lay out on the table so that at least we get a better understanding of each other. So when we say certain things, we're not constantly offending each other. Because I feel like at this point, I'm constantly getting offended by what you're saying. Because you're basically talking about me as the way the CEOs talk about me. And that's fucking crazy. Because how you were my best friend, but you're still talking about me in the way that people who used to abuse me talk about me. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I had to start looking at it like, damn, I just keep nothing but abusers around me. Y'all all trying to keep me down, and I don't know why. But I'm tired of it. Because I'm trying to level up. I don't have time for this shit. But I got some more story times about them. And it's not that. Because I'm still tell story times about people I still talk to. I just, I mean, of course I'll be considerate. I'm not going to be like, yeah, because this dumbass bitch. But in our case, in that case, it's just, I'm talking about it as I saw it. Not as what I wanted to see. Not as what I allow as I was growing up. Like, oh no, maybe she's just, maybe they really are besties. No, nigga, you saw them do some weird ass shit. This woman watched this man body me one fucking time and didn't do a damn thing but be like, but Mickey, maybe it's because you were never a fucking friend. She was never a fucking friend. But yeah, the next story time, because it definitely got crazy as fuck. It did. But I'll tell you guys in the next story time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.